Welcome to the Spotlight on video. In this video, we're going to show you how you can use optional tables and Info Explorer to budget at a sub-ledger level. And the example we're going to use is customer and item budgeting. Why do you need to use optional tables and Info Explorer for your budgeting? Sage allows you to budget at the general ledger account level only. So if you need to budget per customer, per item, or even customer and item level, you have no place to store this data in the Sage 300 company database. Using optional tables, you can budget at a level lower than the general ledger. For example, you could do general ledger and transactional optional field, for example, a project code being flowed through to the general ledger account transactions. Or you can budget at a sub-ledger level. For example, customers, or a customer and item budget, or a vendor budget, or a location budget. And you can also use the Excel add-in for easy budget upload. And then you can use Info Explorer for your reporting, actual versus budget reporting, but you can also, with the write-back license in Info Explorer, do top-down budgets and bottom-up budgets. In this scenario that I'm going to do, we're going to create a new budget for our new items. We're going to use Excel and have an individual tab per item, and we're going to budget for our top 10 customers for these 4 new items that we're introducing this year. And we're going to enter this budget into our Excel spreadsheet. We're then going to use optional tables to store this data, and the Excel add-in in optional tables to upload the data easily from Excel. And we're going to do the upload item by item. After doing that, we're going to use Info Explorer to review the consolidated customer and item budget. And with the write-back license, we're also going to do top-down revisions to amend the budget from a top level down, and also we can amend the budget from the bottom level up, and then upload this amended budget back to our Sage 300 company database in our optional tables. Using Excel, we've created a template for all our new products. For the A1400, we've created a new tab, and here we have our top 10 customers with the customer codes. And in this particular design of the spreadsheets, we're going to enter the projected sales value, we're going to enter the projected sales quantity, and we have used Excel to spread this number equally through the months by 12. So this is the projected sales value over the 12 months, and then we have the projected quantity spread out over the 12 months. And here we have the formulas which will allow us to read or write this information from the spreadsheet back into Sage 300, or if we already have the budget in Sage 300, we can read it into the spreadsheet, adjust it, and re-update it again. So this is for our desk notebook. Similarly, for our halogen desk lights, we've got the top 10 customers, the projected sales value, and the projected quantity, the mini fluorescent bulb, and the halogen desk lamp. So this spreadsheet would be sent to the manager for these particular customers or these particular items, and for them to set the budget for 2023 for these new items. And when the budget process is completed, they can send the spreadsheet back to the budget coordinator to upload into Sage 300. Before we can upload those particular figures, we need to create an information set to store that budget information. And here we have the budget information set, which is linked through to the AR customer and the IC item. And at the customer and item level, we're going to keep track of the budgeted cost, the budgeted quantity, and the budgeted value. And having created that info set, we can go to our Information Manager Transactions, specify our info set, then we can select a customer and an item, And here we can key in the budget. So for January 2023, we can do a budgeted cost, budgeted quantity, and a budgeted value. Once the budget spreadsheet has been returned to the budget coordinator, they can open it through the Excel add-in icon. And this adds into Excel the ability to read the info from the Sage 300 database into the spreadsheet. So if they already have the budget in Sage 300, they may want to bring it into the spreadsheet to amend it, write the information from the spreadsheet back into Sage 300, and some wizards to help you write the formula. So if we open up that budget spreadsheet, after checking the figures, if they're happy, we can go to the add-in and write. And this will bundle up the budgeted sales value and the budgeted quantity from this particular item and then write it back into the info set. And here are the formulas that do that writing. And we can do the same for all the items. Then the A13100. And finally the A14000. And back in Sage 300, if we look at our budget for Barmart A11030, we see the budgeted cost that we entered, but we also see the budgeted value and the budgeted quantity, which has been uploaded from the spreadsheet. And this is for item A11030 for customer 1100. And if we look at one of the other records, for Ronald Black, we will see the budgeted quantity and the budgeted value. We have seen how we can use optional tables to store the budget figures by customer and item. And we've seen how we can use the Excel add-in from optional tables to easily upload the budget. We're now going to look at using Info Explorer, first for reporting actual versus budget, and then for doing top-down revisions or bottom-up budget changes or creation to the budget figures and updating back into the Sage 300 database. You can either run Info Explorer from an icon on your start bar, on your desktop, or you can add a shortcut on your Sage 300 desktop, and I'm launching Info Explorer from there. And I'm going to open up our customer and item actual versus budget cube. So this cube has actuals for our current years and obviously no actuals yet for 2023. But we can see our sales for the different years, drag down our year. So now we're seeing the sales and the sales rank of these items over the years. And if we were to drag down our budget sales, we would see in 2023 the budget sales for the 4 new items that we created. And having a more detailed look at that budget, we've got the 4 items with the budgeted sales value for the 12 months. And we can go ahead and create a work set, rename it so we can keep track of what we're doing. And then we could amend the individual month's values. So I could change February's sales value for the desk notebook to $30,000. And as you can see, we have used conditional formatting to highlight those numbers that have changed. So I could change month by month. Let's change August to $40,000. Or I could change at a total level. So if I was to change this total, 335, to 400,000, let's say, we need to first specify how do we want that total to be distributed back to the underlying months for this item. Do we want it to be spread back proportionately or evenly, divide by 12? Or are we wanting to update minimum values only, maximum values only, a percentage increase, or an absolute dollar value increase or decrease? I'm going to say proportionately, and when I change this to 400,000, you can see the months other than February and August all get the same value, but February and August have an increased value as you would expect. So we could continue to adjust item by item, or we could, for example, if we wanted to increase all the items by 10%, we could take this value, change our spread method to percentage increase, and type in 10 here. We could now save this cube, send it to somebody else to have a look at that budget and see if they agree with the amended budget figures. And when they're happy, or when we're happy, we could go ahead and, if we have the correct permissions, click Write Back. And this will update those budget figures with these amended figures from the cube. We have run through how to use Excel to create your individual budgets, one tab per item to update your new item's budget, using the Excel add-in and optional tables to both store the data in the Sage 300 company database and upload your budgets from Excel, and then how to use Info Explorer to view the consolidated customer and item budget, to do top-down revisions, to do bottom-up revisions, and to upload the amended budget figures back into the Sage 300 company database. For more examples of using optional tables and Info Explorer for budgeting, please go to our website, orchid.systems.